What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind. And yo, this episode was really fucking good, man. This episode was awesome, man. We learned a lot more about La Rancha. La Rancha. I like saying his name. La Rancha. I like his name. La Rancha. Good thing I'm Spanish, so I know how to roll the R's. La Rancha. Anyway, so we learned more about his stand. We got this new gang, which I'm pretty sure these guys are probably going to be like the main villains. These are going to be like those stand users that Dio was using for the Stardust Crusaders during Part 3. Is like these are the Monster of the Week guys that we're going to be following for probably for a decent chunk of the series, or at least for this Trish arc. These are probably going to be the main stand users we're going to be facing off against. Or the guys or the boys are going to be facing off against, I assume. Just from what we've seen from all the previous episodes of Part 3 and Part 4 when it comes to stand use, this is probably going to go that same route. With these guys, I like their designs. From what we've seen of them, they look pretty cool, but we'll talk more about that once we get there. But anyway, guys, SAO is finally back on Toonami. Alicization War of the Underworld has finally debuted. Fuck yes! I'm so hyped for this. I'm glad that it's finally on Toonami. You guys know how hyped I was for SAO. If you guys were watching my SAO reviews of Alicization, you guys know that a majority of them for War of the Underworld was like, where the fuck is the dub? Where the fuck is the dub? Where the fuck is the dub? And now we finally got the dub. I'm hyped to hear Austin's dub voice again. It's gonna break my heart having to rewatch those scenes where Austin is sad, because that shit legitimately pains me. Yes, your boy got a problem. But anyway, guys, let's just jump right in. So he starts this episode off. Got La Rancha looking around, trying to get their stuff. He picks up his knife. He's like, the hell is this thing? This thing's damn near a machete. This can't be my knife. Where the hell is my knife? Finds the shoe, puts it back on. And at first, doesn't seem like there's anything too out of the ordinary. You know, there could be, that pocket knife could legitimately just be a giant size pocket knife. I mean, have you seen the knife that Chris Redfield rocks in Resident Evil 5? Exactly. So he's looking around, he puts the stuff on. So he looks around, grabs the shoe, puts it on, and then he's like, "What the hell is this? These clown shoes can't be mine because one of them is oversized." Gets in the car seat. There's bullet holes all over the door, all over the seat, and he's like, "The fuck is this? The hell, I can't read this door. This room. This seat is huge. I can't reach the steering wheel. I can't even see over the dashboard of this damn thing. What the hell?" He's looking around, and Formaggio's like, "Oh, you dense imbecile! You're so dense you can't even tell that you're shrinking. Not that you're shrinking, not the world." This keeps going on for a bit as La Rancha keeps on shrinking, while he's just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. While Formaggio's just like, you idiot. Then La Rancha finds out realizes that he is indeed shrinking, and he's like, oh shit, what do I gotta do? So, and he tells him that, and he trips over himself, he drops the other shoe, which we find out that how his stand works is that the bandana and his clothes are all still shrinking with him because they're on his person, but his shoe and his knife are staying their normal size because they lost contact with it, so they're staying as... Anyway, so, yeah. So LeBron just keeps looking around, trying to figure out where to go next, and then he finds, then he finds a little phone booth or whatever, this little, door that leads to a bunch of payphones. It's like, alright, we call up Butrati and the boys, and we good. Goes over there, runs to the door, and he instantly crashes it. We also see Little Bomber more in action, where he's looking around for where Formaggio is, but he can't find him as there are a bunch of civilians around the area, so he has to call him back. And you guys have seen this in the OP many times. He extends his arms out, and Little Bomber legit uses his arms as a launch pad or a landing pad, and it rolls down on before it kind of disappears once it reaches his neck. I always thought they looked cool in the opening, but actually seeing it in action, that's actually how he calls back his stand. I think that's just really fucking cool. So props to Araki for that one. So anyway, afterwards he reaches to the phone booth or whatever you want to call it, runs, crashes into the door. He's like, what the hell is going on? He finds, and it's one of those automatic doors, but it's also weight sensitive. Which, man, you can tell a show this is when they have weight sensitive automatic doors, which I don't think that's even a thing nowadays. Although I do remember weight sensitive automatic doors. Yeah, your boy is fucking old, I know. So anyway, so he does is just run towards it and jumps on top of it, which opens the door. Door opens. Now, I don't know how the hell this happened because realistically, I don't know if it would crash that quickly or close that quickly. But he walks over to get in the door, and then literally and you can see the distance between them isn't that big, and the door is completely wide open. But then once he tries to take a step in there, his neck is like caught up between the doors. Like, I don't know if it's like crushing him yet or it's just kind of standing there. Either way, he's like, what the hell is this? God damn it! You know. I don't even know how that's possible because it looked like he had plenty of time to get in, but excuse me, whatever. So anyway, he goes over. So anyway, he gets in, so then he's just like fuck it, sends that little bomber, blasts down the door. Which when you can't open a fucking door, it doesn't want to work. Blast it open. Why not? Uses that. He gets in there, climbs on top. We also start getting some exact height measurements for his size. I have to pull them over my phone real quick on what they were, but I believe the first one was 65 millimeters, or not 65 millimeters. He'd be like, we wouldn't be talking right more if he was that short. But I think it was like a 60. It was either 65 or 68. Okay, got the one. I think this is the first one. This might have been the second one we'll see later, but 62 centimeters was one I think we ended up seeing later on the episode while they were talking on the phone, but I might be wrong. This might have been the first one. But either way, that's about 2 feet and 6 inches. So he would probably be around. If it's 68, then he's probably around 210 maybe. I'm not sure. I'm just like kind of like guesstimate at this point. But anyway, he's getting shorter. That's the point. So he gets over there after he goes for the call. Fumaggio's like, oh shit, I got to think of an idea to make, because if he calls up Butrati, it's done for. So he ends up cutting all the phone lines. He's like, what the fuck? And then he just starts looking around because he knows he's around here if he manages to cut the phone lines. So he's like looking around for him. He can't find him. We head back over to the safe house. Trish is like, where's my mineral water? Which actually, someone actually corrected me in the comments section of my review last weekend. Props to the guy. Shout out to Goes to You. I forget your name, but he actually told me that Trish wasn't like searching through his pockets when she asked for when he asked for Fugo. I almost forgot his name for a second. Fugo's jacket. She was just using his paper towels. So there we go. Because I was like, why are you searching? Because I was like, the real is like you really couldn't have pockets on that damn thing because look how many holes there is. But so thanks to him for pointing that out and correcting me on that. So once again, thanks to him. So they're looking around. Trish is like, and then the other guys are like looking around, being like, yeah, man, I think we should start calling up. We should start break for lunch. And shit, I forget the dude's name. The guy that stand at Sex Pistols. I forget his name. Damn it, you guys know me. I'm terrible with names. But anyway, he looks and he tells them like, yeah, man. I mean, I'm not hungry at the moment, but these little guys need the nourishment. So what was his name? Mista. Almost forgot Mista. So then Fugo, he starts kind of like snapping at Abacchio, and he's like, you should have let me do it instead of him. And he's like, still, you're still on the get over it. He's like, yes, I am. And then we see Fugo just kind of like scratching at his like fist as he's like trying to maintain his anchor. Now, I don't know a lot about Fugo, but I do know bits and pieces of Part 5, and I do know that Fugo, we've seen this before earlier in the series, that Fugo got some anger problems, some anger management issues. Like I think he's like quick to anger. I'm not going to go any more detailed than that because for 2 reasons. One, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys that are dub onlys like me, and I honestly don't really remember. I think I know like a little bit more when it comes to like how his stand is and kind of a little bit about backstory for some videos I saw a while back, but I'm not going to say any more just so I don't spoil any of you dub onlys like your boy. So anyway. So, they go in there, he apologizes, and then we head back to La Rancha. So La Rancha's looking around, Fumaggio's still thinking he is like outsmarted and he has this in the bag. La Rancha's still shrinking. He then goes down to like, we also get some more measurements. He goes down to 58 centimeters, 1 feet 10 inches, yikes. And then he gets down to 53 centimeters, which is 1 inch, or 1 feet, 8 inches, so yeah. Or 1 foot 8 inches, I guess. But anyway. So Laurenti's getting really nice. So Fumaja thinks he's winning, and then we see Little Bomber kind of past him, where in the back pocket, which is where he is. And Little Bomber just got passed through him. He sees it, and he kind of like gets deeper into his pocket. He's like, "Oh man, man!" And then he's like, "Oh, you know, better be careful a little bit." And then you can hear in the background, Laurenti says, "Ha ha! I know where you are." He goes to his back pocket, grabs out Fumajo. He's like, "What the hell?" And Laurenti's like, "Oh yeah, I finally got you, you son of a bitch. So that's your power. You can shrink, you know." He tells Little Bomber to just blast him to hell. So he's holding him in his hand, and Little Bomber just coming in hot and firing at will. Last second, Fumajo fires off has a ballpoint pen with him, and he fires that, and he returns back to his base size, which this has to hurt. Goes right through Little Bomber's hand, and it's kind of just stabbed right through it. And Fumajo managed to get fly through the door, landing on like some stop sign. And he's like, "Oh man, that was close," you know. And then he goes on a little bit more about his powers. Now it takes some time to return objects back to their base form. But non-living things, I believe he said, like pants. That's a different story. And so yeah, he's good. So he takes it in the clear. Little Bomber then appears behind them, fires off again. He manages to dodge. He lands into the sewers. From there, this guy sticks around for a second, and we see Little Bomber kind of pass, which also... No. Before he hits the sewer, he starts running, he's on the ground. Laurenti has Little Bomber just coming right towards him, coming in hot, firing on the ground while he's running away. Did anyone else get North by Northwest vibes from this scene? Like that Alfred Hitchcock movie, you know? I mean, I haven't seen the movie myself, and I know Araki is a bit of a film guy. I don't know if he's as big as a film guy as Hideo Kojima. You guys know Hideo fucking Kojima loves his movies. I don't know if he's as big as a film guy as he was, but either way, man, I just got some vibe from that movie. I could be wrong. Tell me down below if you guys got that, and if you have seen North by Northwest. So anyway. After that, he gets into the sewers. He just kind of stands for a bit, waiting for Little Bomber. Little Bomber ends up finding him after then it fires off its cannon at the grating. He falls into the water. We also see some rats eating spiders and like a tarantula, which I feel bad for anyone who has arachnophobia in this scene. You were probably cringing. You were probably skimming around, hiding behind your couch, waiting for the scene to end. And if you're a boyfriend, your girlfriend's arachnophobia, she's probably clutching to you with dear life, which I'm sure boosted your ego, and maybe you were releasing some webs that night. Maybe I'll catch my drift. I should laugh. That's going to make me cough like hell. I'm still sick, by the way. If my voice still sounds a little different, that's why I'm still a little sick from whatever the hell I got a couple days ago. Anyway, but I'm doing a lot better now. Anyway, so the dude fires off. So he fires off. He lands in the water. He has Little Bomber just kind of, or not Little Bomber, tiny feet, just kind of like deflecting all the bullets from Little Bomber. He's trying to think of a way to get out of there. We then kind of pants up, and then we transition from that to like water spinning around to a toilet. We go back 2 years in Napoli, where we find out more about the Hitman team. I believe is what they're called. I believe they're called Hitman Team. I might be wrong. Let me check the episode title again. What was it called? I believe it was Hitman. Yeah, Hitman Team. Which I mentioned before. I'm pretty sure these are the guys we're going to be following, or who will be the main villains for this arc, at least, with them protecting Trish. So we see some of the extra members. So before we talk more about the other crew and another day, Fumajo's still in the bathroom. Yeah, we see this card in his hand. He drinks a little bit more than inside Palm's hand, and he closes his fist. He goes outside. He looks around like this one area where there's like this case where a bunch of wine bottles are at. We see this guy in the background or in the foreground talking to, I'm assuming, his wife. It could be a girlfriend. Hell, we're in Italy. These are gangsters. For all I know, that's his fucking side hoe. For all I know, I don't know if the Italians go that route, but hey, man, there's some good green tea I'm drinking. Anyway, so yeah, that could be a side hoe, that could be a girlfriend, that could be a wife. I don't know. It could be his goddamn sister for all I know. But anyway, so he throws a little card into his wine glass, and then he heads over back to the rest of the crew. And I don't remember any of their names, so forgive me, guys. One of the guys One of the guys has less of a chin than fucking James Ellsworth, and they all dress as about as subtle as Big Show at Shadow Moses. You know, like they all dress up very obviously and very JoJo as what you don't. I actually like their designs, especially the guy, the leader that has like the red eyes. I really like his design. He's probably my favorite of everyone. I like those red eyes. No, I don't think I mentioned this before, but I don't remember their guys' names, so forgive me. I do remember two of the guys there, which we'll talk more about those two in a second, because you guys probably know the two I'm talking about, because we're about to get to some fucked up shit. So they talk about it, they go on, they keep talking amongst themselves, and then the two leave and tell the waitress like, that was some good stuff right there, and they're like, grazie, hope we see you again. They leave, the dude's walking out, he starts screaming out in pain, his stomach gets larger and larger before it finally fucking explodes, and a big ass car, this is why I said this is some I don't know if I said this actually, but this is some straight up R-rated fucking Ant-Man and the Wasp top shit. The car explodes from him, leaving only his legs, and then the girl that he was with just gets crushed under the pressure of the car as it comes crashing down to the floor. It was nasty. Yep, it was fucking nasty, ladies and gentlemen. Like, legit. But anyway, so yeah, that was something to see. Then the taxi driver comes in there. He's like, hey, you can't park here. Sees the blood. And he's like, oh shit. So from there, they head back to the headquarters. We see that we meet up with the rest of the guys of the Hitman team. And then they realize, they're like, oh, where's the other two? Which were Gelato and who was the other guy? I'm terrible name. Sorbet, I believe it was. Sorbet and Gelato. Who, they're talking about it, and they're like, oh yeah, man, where are those two? I bet they're making sweet, sweet love. Young love. And then you got Fumadji like, Jesus Christ, do you ever shut up? And then we see who they are. Two dudes! Yes, you heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. There was two guys that these guys were openly talking about probably getting it on and having sex. I.e., JoJo has gone full gay now. Which I found that kind of humorous. I'm like, man, Rock is going all in with the gay shit. Because, people have joked about JoJo being kind of gay, with the way people dress and everything. But no, my man Rock is going in all in, man. So, hey. I mean, I don't give a shit. I'm surprised this wasn't, like, trending on Twitter, and people were making memes about it. People weren't sucking a Rocky's dick when the anime aired, but I guess SJWs don't watch JoJo. Good! Keep them away from there. They already ruined Hero Rock. I don't want them ruining JoJo too. But anyway, so they're trying to figure out where they went. They talk amongst themselves, but they actually they talk on these message boards or whatever they're talking on. Which the text is actually written in Italian, which I thought that was a nice little touch there. Instead of it just being like a kanji or whatever, I thought that was a nice little touch there from the director, whoever decided that. I don't even know. I wonder if Rocky actually wrote that too in Italian, the manga. Did he actually look up Italian, how it stays in Italian? I don't know. But anyway, so the dudes are going, so they're looking around, and then Fumadji finds one of their corpses. I believe it was Gelato. Yeah, Gelato was the one they found. And the dude had suffocated himself, and there was blood everywhere. And then they have this little note there that says punishment on it. And by this point now, we also know that these guys were also trying to find out who the boss was, because they felt like they were being shafted, and they felt like they were being shafted as far as payments compared to the rest of the familia, and they wanted to rise. And the narrator even mentions that usually it's only a matter of time for the workers. Sometimes with the organizations like this, before the workers rebel against the leader. So they were looking for who the leader was. And I guess that's when the boss decided to lay a message out there with Sorbet and Gelato. So, and then these 36, I believe it was like 36, packages show up out of nowhere, anonymous packages, to their door. They're completely anonymous, they don't know where these from. They open them up, they're frames with these blue things inside. At first they're like, what the fuck is this shit? Then they open it. Then one of the guys opens it up, the whole thing, and he says, "Yo, man, that's the same nail polish that Sorbet would use. That Sorbet and Gelato would use. Yes, they also rock nail polish. Why am I not surprised?" But anyway, and then they start unlocking all of them, and then they line them up. Now, we never see, like, the whole lineup, which I kind of wish we did, just to see it all in its gory detail. But we see enough of it where you can put the pieces together. These pieces ended up forming Sorbet's cut up, butchered corpse. And the look on this man's face, I got like the manga. I looked it up to see if it was shown. The whole thing was shown in the manga, but it was just about as much was shown in the anime as well as in the manga. And we see it, man, just like Jesus, Araki, man, you don't fucking play, man. And you can just see the look of anguish, the look of fear and anguish on his face. The narrator mentions that he probably used, like, a super sharp knife to extend the pain and make it even more excruciating while he's butchering him. And they theorize that maybe Gelato was probably forced to watch Sorbet get killed, and that's why he probably suffocated himself just out of the fear, powerlessness, and everything of watching his lover die. So, yeah. This guy ain't nothing to fuck around. I mean, goddamn, he gives Scarface a run for his fucking money. Jesus Christ. But anyway, guys, so after that, they have the funeral and everything, and they say, act like he never existed and everything, and that's when we head back to reality with Fumajo trying to figure out what to do next with Larancha Stan coming after, firing at will at him, trying to kill him. So Larancha takes care of some rats. He gets up, he's underwater, he rises up to the surface and holds his breath as the little bomber is making rounds. He just holds his breath. He's like, wait, could it be? And then he sees a rat, and kind of like makes a sound, and then the little bomber just swerves, turns around, and fires at will at the rat until it's dead. That's when he finds out that the way that little bomber's been able to track him is through respiration, i.e. breathing. It's like how, I believe he said, it's like how mosquitoes track their targets is from the carbon dioxide they release when they breathe. And so from there, he's like, and then he kind of like goes to return service, kind of like hiding in a corner, holding his breath, and then he sees like this little hole, which is where a bunch of rats are. He says like, "Look at these disgusting excuses for mammals," And then, well, you call him that. Yet he was hitching a ride. And next time we see him, which also first I gotta say, I love this shot where we see Larancha's eye, and then in front of it is like this eye reticle thing, where he's able to see it through like I think it's like sonar tracking, where he's able to track the targets of where they are. It's like a submarine. It looked really cool. Like that first shot where we just see his eye and then the reticle just kind of like on top of it. It just looked so fucking bad. I'm probably gonna find some way to put that in the thumbnail. Honestly, it looked so fucking cool, guys. So cool. I love that shot. Whoever directed that shot, sir, you deserve a fucking raise as far as I'm concerned. Or at least I tip my hat to you. So anyway, he looks around, and he finds out he finds this horde of rats just in one location, and they're all going the same speed. So he's like, where is he? And then he's hitching a rat on top of these rats. He's like, ha ha ha, I got you, bitch. You're no more annoying than a mosquito on a hot summer day. And from there, and then he just uses his stand little tiny feet, slashes his wing, and then which ends up getting a Larancha in the shoulder once the attack hits him. Then after that, he goes over there, and then after that, we then see Little Bomber kind of like right in front of him and blasts him to smithereens because he notices that one of the other rats is breathing a lot heavier than the rest of them. He's like, "Are you tired? Are you out of breath even? Or is some asshole hitching a ride on your back?" So he blows them up. And then Fumajo returns back to normal size, and then like where he is, the reticle, or at least the sonar, it's tracking or whatever, is like super huge because he's returned to normal size. And he says like, if I didn't return to normal size, I'd be dead. And then Larancha, which is he's now sitting at like 13 centimeters, which is like 5 inches. And that's pretty much. And he's like, if I stayed any longer than that size, I'd be a dead man. Larancha's still shrinking, so he's like, shit, what do I do next? And that, my friends, is where the episode ends. So overall, this episode was fucking awesome. I love what we saw here. That stuff with the boss, man. That boss is not someone to fuck with, man. I mean, I've seen some Italian mobsters in my day, but that gotta take the cake, my friend. Like, bruh. Anyway, so overall, I'm gonna give this episode a 9.5 out of 10, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me, Instagram, Twitter, flag links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.